I don't want to make assumptions, but if you're a nerd and like I went through this stuff and you weren't like, oh no, I feel like the belle of the ball in high school, if assuming a couple things here, like you know, like 85% or so of your student body, you're like, aren't you a little when you think about being a teacher? Don't you get scared like so then I have to like be the most hated person to these like morons that. But do you feel empathy for them and you want them to be smarter? And...
I want them to be smarter, know the history, and don't repeat it.
Yeah.
The bad part of history. You can repeat the good part of it.
Like, if you guys want to do another gold rush, go ahead. There's gold.
Find gold somewhere.
Go find gold, baby.
Do you? I don't want to put you on the spot, but could you teach us some history?
I just finished the whole U.S. history regents.
Okay.
And so.
Just give us a taste. Could you give us a taste?
Dan, play your space music, and she can lay some history on us.
Okay.
If this is embarrassing, just give me this and I'll stop. But if you want to.
Also, you could tell me if you don't feel comfortable telling that to Schraub. Because I'm on your side and not trying to harm you.
Just don't talk to Sony Human Resources. They're just trying to protect their own legal department, whatever you do.
So it's like, kids come, oh man, did you see that show last night? Oh man, I'll YouTube you later. Hashtag motherfucker. All right. and then I'll sit down. Okay, and then you walk in.
And again, if you don't want to, just tell me and I will make this stop because I don't want you to feel bad.
I really don't remember
so
anything because I just went like through that whole test.
Yeah.
Right?
That's great because you probably nailed it, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry. We're trying to do a show.
What was the
It's not your
topic?
fault.
I'll teach history and we'll see if you can stand letting me do it.
Pretend like you're here to Dan's the teacher and you're like gonna grade him.
Right.
On how
You're like a teacher,
right.
and I'm trying to pass an exam so I can become a teacher, and they're the students that are like.
You just won like a fuck ton of money, and now you're gonna leave, and you want to make sure that your legacy goes on. You know, you're like, this is the week he's
So
teaching.
give me a historical area.
How about the 1930s?
Okay.
Because you brought that up. Talk about the Great Depression, all right?
Okay.
Great Depression.
What was so great about it? I mean, it seemed like everybody was pissed off. I mean, come on. You can use that.
The 1930s saw the planet coping with a global economic crisis. Still the aftermath of the Versailles Treaty from World War I. I got that right?
Yep.
The biggest bearer of the biggest brunt being the causers of World War I, but let's not throw anyone under the bus. Germany. In the streets of Berlin, you could take a stack of German money, and it was more valuable as a doorstop than it was legal tender. Rocks were worth more money than money. And the world didn't care. You couldn't cry out from Germany, hey, we got it pretty bad over here. We're really broke. Like, no one's going to go boo-hoo for the people that wore spiked helmets, looked like Darth Vader, minus the skull, and invented mustard gas. Or caused us to invent it. I don't know. World War I was really bad. World War I was so bad that it defines everything up to and including World War II. The 1930s, the bridge between those times, saw the entire planet going into a right-wing slide. People were starting to get into this thing called nationalism. Why is my country anyone else's business? Why isn't it me versus the other countries? How do I know other countries have my best interests at heart? Maybe I should stockpile weaponry. Maybe I should put a tighter cinch on immigration. Maybe I should industrialize, institutionalize, even nationalize some of our chief institutions. Maybe there's people in this country already that I don't really like the way they got here in the first place, so why are they in control of the garment district? Why do they get to bank? Why do they get to gem? Why do they get to get their fingers in these pies? And every country throughout the world, scapegoating starts to get.
It gets funny.
tied
It gets
into
funny. I
nationalism.
swear to God.
So you have scapegoating, you have the sealing of the borders, you have the stockpiling of arms, and you start to embrace hierarchy. There's an authoritarian instinct inside of all of us. When times get tough and confusing, the easiest thing to do is to be told what to do. You want simplicity. You don't want complexity when your family is hungry and when issues are being brought to your face every day. You're getting a fire hose of information. Hey, did you hear down the street? This person thinks that they have the right to do this when I don't even have a job. And when those things happen, we look for charismatic people, even if they're not charismatic the way we like our friends to be charismatic, even if they're the leader version of charismatic, people who maybe say the things that we don't want to say to our daughters at the dinner table because we know they'll make us feel stupid or angry or hateful. We want someone to just say it really loud so that agreeing with them can be as easy as saying nothing at all. And then all the countries start doing that. We do it over here. We do it over there. Europe, it's concentrated in that landlocked portion. These people that, when we walked away from World War I and entered all of our depressions, we let them, foot the bill because they were to blame. So they stockpiled more weaponry because you can convert your entire economy into a perceivable profit if you just say, well, fuck our dollar. Let's just say your job is to make a tank and I'll buy it. I'm your country. Yay, we're Enron. So you're just making more tanks. And, there's treaties you agreed to that said you wouldn't do that, but everybody's got their own problems, and everybody's isolationist, and everybody's nationalist. So what voting part of the public is going to go, yes, I agree, Senator, I think we should spend our time monitoring Germany and making sure they don't do things. We should definitely pay a lot of attention to that huge threat that is that weird guy with that weird haircut who is threatening everyone and saying that he deserves to be on the global stage. You're going to get a lot more sympathy going, fuck that, who cares? Even maybe some people go, you know what? I like the cut of that guy's jib. He's making the trains run on time. Fuck you, Senator. You're not reelected. And so it's like a system that just slides and slides and slides, and it lasts years and years and years, and it isn't a pendulum that swings. It's not like a sine wave. It's a linear ramp that just mounts like the flu. It just keeps going and going. All the countries keep sealing up and stockpiling and mistrusting, and then they start the frenzied alliances. Oh, I'm friends with this person because the enemy of the enemy is my friend. Who's to say that this murderer isn't cooler than you? At least their clock is bigger. At least their missiles are stronger. I like them. I like you too. Let's take pictures together. Oh, I love it. Oh, no, I hate you. Oh, I'm going to go to war with you. Ha, just kidding. There is no truth. What's the truth? Who gives a fuck? As long as the poor people aren't storming our castles and hanging us in the marketplace, who cares? So the stockpiles continue to stockpile, and then there's an incident. Something happens. In World War I, it was whatever his name was, Duke Ferdinand, Archduke Bishop Pontlefoot.
Little Lord Fauntleroy was murdered.
But, I was only supposed to talk about the 30s, and the 30s are simply just, there's this kooky guy in the Europe who no one has the energy or the international effeteness to bother to police. Starts saying, well, maybe we should be here, maybe we should be there. Maybe the whole problem is that we've been denied our natural right to be everywhere. And so you don't argue with them, and you let them annex, and you let them do stuff. And meanwhile, in the cities where it's happening, where there are no cameras, people are being categorized, sorted. If you say this, then you're that. That makes you this. The media, very simply, it's either state-run or it's fake news. It's just something that isn't supposed to be paid attention to. Back then, it was as easy as taking a Molotov cocktail, going into the local printing press and kicking it over, buying it, stealing it, beating up the guy that ran it. But the bottom line is you take control of the media, you control the truth. Everybody that lives within each boundary, they only know one thing, which is that everybody's out to get them. And then they know pride. They know uniforms. They know parades, colors, speeches, amazing, simple things like, oh my God, it's been so complicated. I'm so tired of being embarrassed at parties. I'm so tired of being told I'm thisophobic and thatophobic, and that I owe this person this, even though I barely have that. God, what if it was the truth? What if the truth was just so simple? What if it was just that everybody that doesn't look like me and wasn't born exactly where I was born is a piece of shit out to get me, and they just need to be rounded up and sequestered? I'm not going to do anything bad to them. I don't wish any harm on them. I just want them out of my fucking business, out of my face, out of my restaurant. I don't want them in my cabinets or in my parliaments. I just want them to. Why can't they take care of themselves? Like, what's the big fucking deal? Everybody just is out for themselves. Like, I just want to I just want simplicity. That's all anyone wants. If I see a cookie on a plate and I don't eat it, I'm going to come back and it's going to be eaten. I'm going to eat it now. And the guy stands on a balcony and he says, "This is what I'm talking about." Like, if you trace everything back, we invented it all. We're the fucking kings, and we have been denied this. There was a golden age. Don't pin me down on it. I'm not a historian or anything. I'm just an orator. I'll just tell you over and over again. Back then, there was this simple time. You know what I'm talking about. You were 10 years old once. Didn't it feel simpler then? Didn't it feel like there was truth and falseness? Why is it so complicated now? What's with the earrings and the tattoos and the biracials and the transimatans? What's with all this Facebook business? Fuck this. I want to say Merry Christmas. I'm going to say Merry Christmas all the day. And you cheer and you chant and you parade and the missiles just keep piling up. And then eventually, we get to 1939. And the guy that's never been told no is only going to do one thing. It's not going to be to take a time out. He's tried everything he could fucking do. He still hasn't been told no. He still hasn't been challenged, not by his own people, not by anybody on the global stage. So you start going big, you do one big thing, and then we see how people respond. And I think is that a Polish thing? Is that the invasion of Poland, maybe?
Yep, the Blitzkrieg.
The Blitzkrieg, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so I take it from your not interrupting me that I kind of nailed it. Okay.
All right. Isabelle,
Yeah.
you want to give him a grade on that? Be brutal. Be brutal.
100?
100? Jesus. I mean,
I don't think he used enough
Out of-
specifics.
Out of 1,000.
There's a lot of dates in history.
was there really a lot of piercings and tattoos going on in Berlin?